cleansing and genocide and all sorts of idiocy by the Greens over the last 17 months. We've been isolated, we've been kept out of the city for our own safety. We all know what that means. Our rights have been curtailed. The Greens have been supporting the genocide spruikers in the city, accusing us of absolutely nonsensical crimes, which basically legitimise harassment and violence against us. And I, for one, as you all know, have been both doxxed and prevented from getting into the town hall because of the crime of being Jewish. Now, all of you, no doubt, have had different experiences which have involved harassment, isolation, abuse, intimidation. This is our new normal and it's not okay. So the purpose of today was for the Greens to actually confront these nameless, faceless Zionists that they demonise. Let them see the human face that they are harassing and harming. We are Australians who contribute to the well-being of Australia. It's not okay what they've done to us. And we're just going to walk over to the barbecue area and just see for ourselves that they don't have the courage of their convictions, that they've actually done a no-show today because they couldn't face 100 peaceful Zionists wearing blue and white waving Australian flags. It doesn't really say much to them. So when we get there, Simone's prepared an excellent speech just talking about some of the specific incidences of the Greens' hatred and how it's impacted us. And I just want to thank you all for having the courage of our convictions and making them accountable. So,
Same price.
well, yeah, we're here. This is the washout. Yeah. He's here. Simone's here.
Simone's going to give the shovers drosha now.
No, I get dizzy at night. Oh. No, it didn't work before. I turned it up.
Hi. I'm going to read out what we were going to read today with the Greens here, but they're not, so I'm going to read it anyway.
Simone, where's the microphone?
It's not working. I'm just going to move forward into the shade a bit. Big loud voice. Adam Bandt was meant to sit here today at a picnic, detached from the chaos that his party has unleashed. While he was going to enjoy his afternoon, Jewish Australians live in fear. While the Greens stoke division, embolden extremists and give a platform to the most vile anti-Semitism that we've seen in decades. This is not the party of environmentalism anymore. The Greens have morphed into an extremist movement that exploits international conflicts for political gain. They have turned the floor of Parliament into a stage for demonising Israel, pushing motions that smear the Jewish state while ignoring Hamas, a terrorist organisation that is homophobic, misogynistic and rooted in radical Islamic extremism. And let's be clear, the Greens have refused time and again to condemn Hamas. One of their own candidates running in Western Sydney openly said, "I cannot and will not condemn Hamas." Think about that. A candidate in an office in Australia refuses to condemn a group that slaughters civilians, uses children as human shields, executes women for not wearing a hijab. What kind of moral bankruptcy is that? And it doesn't stop there. Jenny Leong, a Greens MP, stood in front of a crowd and invokes the Nazi-era octopus trope, accusing a so-called Jewish lobby of spreading its tentacles into ethnic organisations. Senator Maureen Faruqi posed for a photo next to a sign that depicted the Israeli flag being thrown into the trash, implying Israel and by extension the Jews should be wiped out. Then came the firebombing of the Adass Israel synagogue in Melbourne, a direct terrorist attack on a Jewish place of worship in Australia, and what did we get from the Greens? Faruqi's own chief of staff spewing conspiracy theories this was a Zionist false flag. Imagine if any other minority group experienced this attack. Would the Greens be so silent then? Would they be so quick to dismiss it as fake? The answer's clear. The Greens have made a calculated decision to side with those who seek to intimidate and erase Jewish identity. They use Parliament as their megaphone for anti-Israel hate, even though none of their 52 motions against Israel have succeeded. And it was never about passing policy, it's about mainstreaming anti-Semitism. And now we're at a crossroads. If the Greens gain more power in a hung Parliament, what happens next? More intimidation and more harassment of Australian Jews. Australia cannot afford to let extremism take hold in our democracy. The Greens must be called out, rejected and held accountable. The next election is not just about policies, it's about standing against the dangerous, reckless ideology that the Greens have embraced. And we must send them a message. Australia rejects hate, Australia rejects extremism, and Australia rejects the Greens.
Could I suggest a minute's silence for the Bibas boys who were manually strangled and their bodies dismembered and then kept from November 23 till just this week? If we can have a minute's silence for them. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody. Can everyone just hold up their signs? We'll just get a quick photo, just kind of.
I'm going to do it two ways. I'm going to try and do a photo and then a pano. I'm sorry, I can't see much on my screen.
Take it out.
Yeah, yeah, no. They've left. They put Ukraine's in. Will make. But get.
Thanks, everyone.
Hey guys,
Avi's
I want to talk to a
here.
couple people who
Anyone who wants to chat to Avi?